The reason retail PvP is bad. All right, let's look at this. I haven't looked at any WoW stuff for a while.
Okay. I don't... How do I talk about this? Raikou, if you guys don't know, is one of the most distinguished WoW pros in the AWC. He's
crazy.
had many tournament wins over many, many expansions. Highly respected mage player in the community. And Vanaruki, same thing.
Yep.
Let's get into this just a little bit. In general, Dragonflight PvP, and most likely the War Within, just suffers from the same problem. Everything is catered towards Mythic Plus so that everyone has to do insane AoE damage and everything has to AoE. But this is the exact opposite of what Arena is supposed to be. This is...
I think that's probably true. He's probably right.
Very, very, very well said. This is very well said.
This, by the way, is the reason why PvP in an MMO will always be bad. And you should never try to make PvP balanced in an MMO, because in doing so, like, PvP is always going to be a side game. It's always a side game. The majority of people, unless it's like one of these like niche PvP MMOs, if you have a big game, the majority of people are not going to be doing PvP.
I talk about this all the time on my stream. I say this all the time. Raikou said it very well. This is the major issue with retail PvP right here. And the thing is,
I think the major issue, honestly, is the fact that there's too many buttons. There's too many buttons. There's too much going on. It's hard to keep track of what's happening, and it's confusing. Like, that's the reason why I don't play. Like, for me, I can't tell what's happening in the game in PvP, and I've played it for 15 years. Like, half of the plays that people try to make, I don't really fully understand them.
I don't even blame Blizzard.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Because if 90% of your player base plays Mythic Plus,
exactly,
and 10% of your player base plays Arena,
who are you
going to
design for?
Makes
exactly,
sense
yeah,
to
it's
me.
common sense.
So I don't even blame them, but it's still true. So let's get into this a bit deeper. Raikou also tweets,
this is definitely true. However, one of the reasons is that I think that PvP in games that are MMOs, it's just like an MMO PvP is, like, in my opinion, an oxymoron, right? Because MMOs are built off of consistent character progression that you work towards over time, and PvP is built around fighting in an arena and, you know, having a challenge with another player. How can you do that in an uneven battlefield? You can't. It was doomed to begin with. From the very beginning, it was doomed.
the most noticeable thing about playing Cataclysm compared to retail is that in Cataclysm, my spells, mage, are single target. My Ice Lance, my Orb doesn't go on CC targets. Single target damage is high. Meanwhile, in DF, Sheep is 6 seconds, and I AoE on every button I press. Everyone else AoEs as well. Once again, yes, very well said. If you want PvP to return to this like really high skill expression, AoE spamming should probably not be a part of it. But that ruins Mythic Plus, so it might not be a good idea for Blizzard to do that. But it's still worth...
That's probably true. Like, I'm thinking back, and like every expansion since like Legion, whenever I had the highest rating, our strategy was usually to kill everybody at the same time. Like, yeah, just get them all together and like do Whirlwind, Sweeping Strikes, and Blade Storm, and then they're dead. And if that didn't work, then you're dead. Because they are doing Whirlwind, Sweeping Strikes, and Blade Storm, and they killed you.
Talking about and saying that this is probably a root fundamental issue.
Yeah.
The other issue is self-healing. So you have like two massive issues. Self-healing is too high. That's talked about. We've done that. We've packed that. Everyone gets that. Everyone agrees there, right? Self-healing.
Yes, 100% it is. It's not even close. This happened in like Mists of Pandaria, is whenever it really kind of escalated, and then in Legion it was like
way
huge.
too high. But the other pillar is this: AOE for every class, mobility for every class, like is just too high because of Mythic Plus. It needs to be that way for the Mythic Plus design to actually make sense.
Yeah.
And I thought Raiku's just said it very well. Once again, Raikou says, can we please change this? This is a good example. It should be a node here. Instead of picking splitting ice, it should be your Ice Lance now does 25% more damage, but it doesn't cleave. Stuff like this is horrible for PvP. So once again, splitting ice makes your Ice Lance...
Nobody cares about PvP. Look at this. This guy's one of the most popular, or one of the most, like, renowned, like, PvPers. This post has 27 likes. Blizzard doesn't care about them. The sooner that PvPers realize that Blizzard doesn't care about you and you should spend your time, like, just stop. Like, the best thing, if I knew somebody who was trying to get into competitive WoW PvP, I would give them the best advice possible and I would tell them to quit. Stop it. Go learn League of Legends, go learn Valorant, go learn Counter-Strike, and invest your 10,000 hours into a game that matters. The player base doesn't care about you. The developer doesn't care about you. Viewers don't care about you. And you don't make any money. What are you doing?
Split, but then it breaks CC. So instead, it should be a choice node. And for PvP, you would choose like your Ice Lance does more damage, but it doesn't split. Or your Ice Lance doesn't do more damage, but it does split. And you choose one. So you can choose like a single target build or an AoE build, and that would make a lot more sense. And then Veneruki says, this talent has always made me laugh. It cleaves your spells and gives your single target damage. It would be awesome if it was a choice
Tough
node.
choice there.
But there's lots of examples like this. The same thing with Comet Storm, the same thing with Ice Nova, right? You have these like AoE classes just start to build up, and it's like, wait, no, we want options to make single target specs so that you make CC great again. So you go for CC chains and burst and stuff like that. But anyway, we'll kind of venture there. I wanted to talk about this because I thought Raikou said it very well. I agree with Veneruki's take here, and a lot of people ask my thoughts on like War Within. And like essentially this is it. It's like, well, I mean, it's gonna be awesome.
It's PvP in WoW has been dead since Mists of Pandaria. Like really, like WoD, it was like kind of there, but the truth is that everybody who wanted a competitive third-person, single target or single unit competitive experience, a huge group of those people moved over to MOBAs. And also, like, the player base just isn't there. Like, you don't have people that are playing and queuing BGs anymore because they're hard to understand. You don't know what's going on. There's just too many things in the game for a normal person to get into the game and be able to understand it. Like, for example, I could watch like a PvP video from, like Pat or like the Maydai videos or Swifty videos. And even if you didn't really understand the game, you could pretty much see what was happening in classic WoW PvP. You could get it. You know what I mean? Whereas in retail, you can be playing the game. You can be actively playing the game, and you will understand less than you did if you didn't play the game and you watched a classic PvP video. You can't do it.
If you're a Mythic Plus player or a World First Raider, but if you're a PvPer, like there's some really fundamental root issues.
BGs are hard to understand.
Yeah, anyway, that's my take.
Yeah, they are massively too hard to understand. Way, way too hard to understand. And I think this is what's happening, right? Is that you have these games and they're so complex. And also, why would somebody care about PvP in an MMO?
Self-healing.
Where is the audience coming from that cares about PvP in an MMO? Because all of the people that care about MMO PvP in the context of like, what do you call it? All the people that care about MMO PvP in the context of a competitive environment are automatically going to move away, and they're not going to like that because you're going into the game with an advantage that the other person doesn't have. So, like, how could you possibly enjoy a game if you want to play on an even playing field with somebody else? It's like you're starting with, you know, a scout and the other guy has an op. Like in Counter-Strike, like they have a massive advantage over you. Like, that's it. Now, can you beat them if you're better than them? Yeah. But is it going to be harder? Absolutely. So that's what happens. And you losing those people, and then the people that care about getting better gear and then just stomping people, you can't do that as much as you used to anymore because of stat scaling. And also, it doesn't feel as good because of the way that the game is designed. So who are they making the game for? Who like, where is this target audience of PvPers? Who are they? Where are they? Are they in the room with us right now? Probably fucking not, because they're gone. They stopped playing the game 10 years ago. Nostalgia Andes, yeah, exactly. I'll give you guys a link to the video. I agree with Zaryu a lot about this. The same 300 people with 20 characters? Yeah, exactly. Like, MMO PvP is because you can be a stronger character with skill, which is why it's good. It makes you go out of your way to get better, to go compete in the arena. I understand that's the way that you think about it, but I'll change the way that, like, this is the way that I think a lot of people think about it. They see somebody else that has an advantage over them, and they quit. Because they say, this isn't fair. I'm going to lose. And how do I know that? Do you remember back in Classic WoW when everybody was so adamant on the idea that people like the challenge of playing on a lower, on like a 60-40 PvP server where they're the minority? And like they like playing on a imbalanced PvP server because they like the challenge of having a bunch of other people around? And then you saw every single one of those servers go completely one-sided? See, people say this. They don't do it. That's not actually what people do. This is complete fucking, you know, oh, I'm a badass, and then, like, you're getting killed by 4 people at the same time. You have no chance of winning. This happens to you for 2 hours, and you quit the game. Like, that's it. You think you do, but you don't. Well, yeah, you think, exactly. Or everyone did AVV, did in PvP, it turned into a PvE race. Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. I also tend to dislike MMO PvP because the class balance has to be very good for it, and it's never going to be very good. That's the thing, is that you're never going to get people to respect asymmetrical PvP. It's literally that simple. If you go into combat with an advantage that somebody else doesn't have, that is not something that you are like choosing for that round. Why not? Because it's not fair. What do you mean, why not? It's not fair. One person has an advantage the other person doesn't have. They win. Well, it's not enjoyable anymore. Life isn't fair. I know, but people are playing video games to get away from life. Think about it. We don't want it fair? You say we don't want it fair. But the numbers indicate otherwise. And that's the difference. People love to talk a big game about this stuff. But the truth is that when you see people that are going up against insurmountable odds, and people that are going into a fight knowing that they have an 80% chance of losing because of something that, you know, is external to the fight, you see people not queuing up anymore. They're quitting. And every single observable metric proves this. It's tedious. Yes, exactly. You say you want it to be fair because you think you're going to win? Exactly. Of course. Some people just want to go seal clubbing? Yeah, exactly. Asman, such a fried take for someone who did in PvP and retail for 4 years. What about what I'm saying isn't true? Mr. I have a WoW profile picture. This is a World of Warcraft profile picture. It's not a good transmog. It's a full set. It's a full set with the TCG tabard set. Or a TCG tabard. It's not even a big deal. What is it? And also, why would I PvP in a game that I think isn't very, like, I don't think the PvP experience is good and it's not enjoyable. Why would I play it? What's the logic there? I'm explaining why I don't play PvP. I don't find it fun. I think it's annoying and it's stupid. So yeah, why would I do that? If I want PvP, I could just play a PvP game. First of all, you get geared in PvP really quick. You didn't listen to what I said. It's still asymmetrical. It is. It's asymmetrical. It's not even confusing. Spread the well, bro. This guy, Ox. Damn, bro, this guy's so annoying. All right, I'm gonna ban this guy. Okay. Anyway, so not this one. It's just somebody else typing this like weird fucking bullshit. Like I don't know. Like, bro, this is so fucking weird. Like, what are you? Jesus Christ, get the fuck out of here. Anyway, So yeah, it's fun after 20 hours. Yeah, why would somebody play step 1, find a friend, step 2, play 2v2 and have fun? No, you're not going to have fun. See, like, you don't even understand. What's your character name? Give me your character name right now. I'm going to look you up. What is the character right there? What's the picture of that character? That's a Night Elf Rogue. I'm pretty sure it's a Night Elf Rogue. Windhawks? What server? So I guess he must be in the EU servers, but I don't think I can even go to that. Ah, fuck. I can't find it. Yeah, that's too bad. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. I apologize, guys. I don't think it's going to happen. Wait. Oh, I might have it here. One more. Double check. I can't. Okay. Well, anyway, I guess we're not going to be able to do this. I apologize. So, yeah. Anyway, the armor set that you're wearing in that picture is from Legion. This is an elite armor set. I think it's actually that's the mythic armor set from Legion. So you have played the game at least for 7 years or 8 years, probably. So what are we talking about that, like, this is like, for you, it seems easy. Just do an EU. Yes. Just use check.pvp. Okay. Check PvP. Wow. I've never seen this before. Yeah, I've never seen this. Okay, search a profile. Okay, here we go. 528. He's 2400 rated. And how long has this guy played the game? Is there a way I can actually just click on this? Yeah, here we go. Oh, this makes it way easier. All right, so you have 7,000 achievement points. And how long have you played the game? Legacy achievements. Let's go ahead and scroll down. Dungeons. So, expansion features, current world events maybe, character, 2016 at least, right? You've played the game since 2016. There are a lot of people who have been very outspoken about me not knowing what I'm talking about. But what I think they don't understand is that their experience playing the game is so much different than somebody who is new to the game. That's 8 years, man. I agree, it's really bad for new players or people who don't put effort in. Why would somebody want to put in effort when they're losing an unfair fight? You queue into a match, you lose to somebody who has better gear than you, and you're dead. Why would somebody do that? Why wouldn't they just immediately stop playing and play another game where they're not at a disadvantage? And I'm thinking about this from a perspective, because I know the reason why, right? It's so you can get the gear and do it to somebody else. Sure. But that is not what PvPers and people that actually like a competitive environment want to do. That's what MMO Andes want to do. Getting gear is not an issue. In Dragonflight, Source, trust me, bro. You don't start with the gear. And if you think that it's not an issue, you don't understand how much free time people have. And why would somebody, how many hours do you think it takes to get fully geared at the beginning of a new season? 4 to 8 hours. So you're telling me that within 4 hours, you can get the best PvP gear in the game? No. Okay, of course not. Right, of course not. So here's the point, okay? My point that I'm making is that WoW PvP is made for no one. The high-end competitive players don't really get any sort of like real advantage from playing the game, because so if you want to compete in a game and make money, like let's say you're a 19-year-old young buck, right? You're a 19-year-old guy and you really want to get into esports. Why would you start playing World of Warcraft? Why wouldn't you start trying to play League or another game that's more popular? So you don't have the young players that are trying to get into the game because they want to be in the competitive scene, because there is no competitive scene, right? There's just a handful of old people. So the second thing, the average casual player is getting alienated because they are playing asymmetrical PvP against somebody who's way better than them. Then, number 3, you queue into 1,700 2v2s, you're going to see somebody who's a gladiator. That's insane. It's insane that that happens. So you're playing against people that have a 10-year advantage over you and that have 0.5% achievements, and they're just going to stomp the shit out of you. Right, take a step out. Anyone who starts playing League today is at a massive disadvantage. They are at a massive disadvantage, but here's the difference. They stand to gain way more. People care about League, and you can make a lot more money playing League. That's the difference. Asymmetrical PvP only works in large-scale battles? Yeah, listen, it's this simple. No one will ever care about or respect asymmetrical PvP other than the spectacle of it. That's it. To the extent that you can queue in with a tool or a resource that somebody else cannot queue in with, nobody will ever respect or care about that. Period. That's it. Don't try to make MMO PvP competitive. Try to make it fun. And if you do that, maybe things would be okay. But yeah, anyway, that's what I think. I think WoW PvP is dead. It was always destined to die. And now it's so dead that nobody cares about it. And there's just a few old people that are trying to relive the glory days of 15 years ago. That's all there is to it. Anybody who cares about PvP is playing a different game. So yeah, that's about it.